Hello, I'm Frank Brady. Thank you for watching Tip of the Week. Today, we're going to discuss how to identify and quantify demands on staff time resulting from normal department tasks. Next week's tip will cover the last step in this series, the implications of those time demands on staff time for workforce structure and scheduling. We suggest that the facilitator post this meeting's purpose where all team members can see it. The facilitator's role is to run the meeting and keep information available to the team as it's developed. For that purpose, you can use a flip chart, tear sheets, a blackboard, a whiteboard, or a laptop and projector. The facilitator should be a person whose facilitating skills are trusted by team members. Facilitators are often education department staff. The facilitator should have some experience with nominal group process and must understand that the work product will be the product of the team and not to attempt to steer the team to a particular result. The purpose of today's session is to develop a reasonable estimate of the average amount of time it will take to perform each task under normal conditions. We are not trying to achieve a level of scientific precision that would satisfy an engineer. It's important to understand that work is elastic, and so, at least to a certain extent, are people. Even when steps are performed in exactly the same way by the same person, performance time can vary. Many things can cause that variance: the performer's experience level, the time of the day, patient characteristics, if any of those are involved, and many other factors. It's also important to bring a sense of humor to the session. People's sense of time can vary tremendously. The best time estimators will probably be the people who most often perform the task. If there's a tremendous amount of variance among those people, make sure that everyone is talking about the same task and that people are in agreement as to when the task begins and when it ends. A minute is a long time. 5 minutes is a very long time. We suggest the facilitator let the team experience how long 2 minutes can be by timing it for the group. It's also important to consider the effect of multitasking. Tasks can be interrupted by other tasks. We don't want to include the length of the interruption in the estimate, just the time required to actually do the task. The team will use a modified consensus group process to develop task time estimates. In a group exercise like this, the length of estimates are likely to vary considerably. Consensus does not mean unanimous agreement on a precise number. It does mean arriving at a number that the group can accept as reasonably acceptable, even though some members may not believe it's the best possible estimate. The purpose of this step is to reduce the list of tasks to manageable size. It will include those that are considered materially important by the team. It is not necessary to include very minor or infrequent tasks. The facilitator begins by displaying all initially identified tasks and asks the team to review the list and nominate tasks that should be removed because they either aren't real tasks, they don't make a material impact on work time, or they don't happen with enough frequency to be a cause of worry. The facilitator then removes all tasks unanimously agreed to by the team. The facilitator selects the first task on the paired list and asks team members who normally perform the task to agree upon when the task starts and ends. The facilitator then asks all team members to privately record an initial time estimate for each task. It's an initial time estimate because those estimates may change over time as more information is developed. The facilitator asks each team member to state his or her estimate and records each time estimate provided. If there are large differences among provided time estimates, ask the members who provided the estimates to discuss and resolve the differences if possible. Team members should give special weight to the estimates of those who actually perform the task. If differences are resolved, ask the other team members if they can accept the result. If so, record the agreed upon time value, select the next step, and repeat steps 1 through 6 for the next selected task. If differences remain, poll the team to select an option. Your options are 1, a team estimate, and number 2, a time study. If the team estimate option is chosen, the facilitator asks each team member to privately record a time estimate for each task. Team members then identify their estimates one at a time, and the facilitator records them. The facilitator polls the team, asking if consensus can be reached on any of the proposed values. If so, record the consensus value as the initial team estimate. If not, the average of the team's estimates becomes the initial team estimate. If large variances remain, the task should be flagged by the facilitator for future study. If the time study option is selected, first make certain that everyone is in agreement upon when the task starts and when it ends. The study should be conducted within the department after it is explained to department staff why the study is being undertaken. The team should select observers and performers, and the observers should record the task start and end times for at least 10 observations. When the observations are complete, calculate the mean or average number of minutes observed, and that becomes the team's initial estimate. It's also worthwhile to keep in mind the Hawthorne effect. Many years ago, the Hawthorne Works, a Western electric factory outside Chicago, commissioned a study which found that workers' productivity improved when they were being studied. In other words, people tended to work faster when they're being observed. It's worth keeping that observation in mind when reviewing the result of any time study. That concludes this Tip of the Week issue. We hope you found this information to be helpful. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.